We go live now to Capitol Hill, where Congresswoman Lisa McClain of Michigan, the chairwoman of the House Republican Conference, is joining us live. Welcome back to Bloomberg TV and radio. Chairwoman McClain, as we consider the SALT caucus that has issues with this bill, those that are questioning the cuts around Medicaid, those that are questioning whether those cuts go deep enough, there is a lot of noise being made. What is leadership's message to those who are suggesting they may act as an impediment to getting this thing through the House of Representatives?
Listen, at the end of the day, we need to do the one big, great, big, beautiful bill. We need to get it done, because if we don't get it done, the Medicaid, the SALT, it will compare in comparison, it will pale in comparison to what will happen if we don't get it done with the tax rates. So at the end of the day, we need to get this done to make sure that we don't give the American people the largest tax increase that they've seen. We can't let that happen. But I will say this. We have a representative government. And whether you're representing a red state or a blue state or a purple state or a district, you need to represent your district. And that's what the SALT caucus is doing. So I respect them for doing what they're doing. But we all need to get into reality that we have to get this bill done for the American people. And I have the confidence, I am an optimist, that we will get it done just like we have done in the past.
Well, I spoke to one member of that so-called SALT caucus, Republican Congressman Mike Lawler of New York, on this show yesterday, Chairwoman. This is what he told me about the current SALT cap level in the draft bill and how it would impact his vote.
This bill, as written, with a $30,000 cap for those making under $400,000, is just woefully inadequate. And so, no, this does not have my support. It will not have my support. And if this bill comes to the floor for a vote, I will vote no.
Knowing that it's Republicans in blue states like Congressman Lawler who make or break the House majority for the Republican conference, Chairwoman, why not just give them a little bit more of a break here, considering there is wiggle room, according to the Joint Committee on Taxation's readout of how much revenue this will lose. Ways and Means does have maneuvering room here.
Yeah, and you are right. They have maneuvering room, and we're meeting tonight again. Speaker Johnson will meet again tonight with the SALT caucus. So there is some wiggle room. How much wiggle room? That's what we need to determine. But at the end of the day, I think both sides will come together to get this done for the American people. Because what we'll see if we don't get this tax bill done will be gravely worse than what we're experiencing now with the SALT cap for all Americans. But to Mike's point, there is wiggle room. And that's the art of the deal, and that's the art of negotiation. And Mike is representing his district, doing what he needs to do for his district. But I believe at the end we'll do what's best for the greatest number of the American people.
And when we turn to the Medicaid cuts in the Energy and Commerce Committee specifically, even some Republicans like Senator Josh Hawley have come out against that. He suggests that it's politically suicidal to pursue policy like that. As you look ahead to 2026, what would you say in response to those who are concerned that cutting Medicaid by too much, kicking too many people off of the rolls, will mean you lose the majority?
Well, listen, I don't agree with the premise that we're kicking too many people off the rolls. First, we don't really have an accurate score because we just dropped the text of the bill last night. But let's take a look at what we are doing with Medicaid. We are making sure that we shore up Medicaid so that it is available for the people who need it most. So if you are an illegal and you're receiving Medicaid payments, you will be asked to exit the Medicaid rolls. If you are using Medicaid for waste, fraud, and abuse, you will be asked to exit the Medicaid rolls, right? And we do have work requirements. We need to make sure that Medicaid is shored up to first give it to the people who really need it most. So my question I would ask is, do you want the American people who are, pregnant mothers with infant children to receive Medicaid, or would you prefer illegal MS-13 gang members to receive Medicaid? I'll share with you, I want to make sure Medicaid is there for the people who need it most.
Well, Well, and as we consider what your chamber is willing to do on Medicaid specifically, or on any of these issues, frankly, getting it through the House obviously is one challenge on its own. I don't have to tell you that as a member of House leadership. But then the Senate's going to have to reconcile this, too. And I wonder what House leadership is telling or is hearing from Senate leadership about changes that might need to be made.
Yeah, I can assure you that Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune have been working hand in hand through this whole entire process. There's really not a lot of daylight between the two. They've worked hand in hand on it, and I'm confident that together we will get this bill done so we can put it on the president's desk. The president has been extremely clear to both chambers that this needs to get done, that both chambers need to get into reality and get this one big, beautiful bill done. And that's exactly what we intend to do.
Well, the question is going to be not just if it can get done, but on what timeline, Chairwoman, considering that we know that the debt ceiling hike that is necessary if the U.S. is going to maintain its full faith and credit is supposed to be embedded in this package. And the Treasury Secretary has warned Speaker Johnson that that needs to be done by mid-July before the August recess, or we risk running into the X date. Has leadership had a conversation around backup plans should reconciliation not move as quickly as intended to deal with the debt ceiling separately if the situation demands it?
Yeah, not really. Our plan and what leadership is planning to do is to get through the committees, markups this week, have Jody Arrington and his budget committee sew the big pieces of the quilts together, so to speak, and hopefully put it on the floor next week when we're back to pass the one big, beautiful bill. We have not spent a lot of time, if any, on a backup plan because we have confidence that we can and will get this bill done by Memorial Day.
And is it going to require President Trump making some phone calls to those members who might still be making some noise at that point to actually get it across the finish line?
Yeah, I am absolutely confident that the president will do whatever he needs to do to make sure that he communicates and has been in communication with members on the importance of getting this bill done so that the American people don't see the biggest tax hike in history or that they've seen in a long time. So I'm fairly certain the president is on the side of getting it done and will be very engaged in this process if need be.
All right. Republican Congresswoman Lisa McClain, chair of the House Republican Conference, thank you so much for joining us live from Capitol Hill.